Hello, this is a fingerpicking technique that's very popular on the banjo, but also sounds great on the ukulele. It's called the clawhammer. This is going to be a very basic introduction to the technique. First, let me give you a quick demo of what I mean by clawhammer, and then I'll break the technique down for you. By the way, a big thanks to Phil Dolman for allowing me to use his arrangement of that song, Boil Them Cabbage Down. Phil is an awesome guy with lots of great musical knowledge that he's always happy to share, so please go ahead and check out his YouTube channel if you want some more cool tutorials. And he was also a guest on my podcast, Ukulele Tales, so if you want to hear some more wisdom from the man himself, then go ahead and check that out now as well. Normally we would tune our ukulele to G, C, E, A, and it would sound like this. But for this one, I've tuned the A string down to a G, so we're playing G, C, E, G, and it'll sound like this. So the fourth and the first strings will sound exactly the same. That's not always necessary when you're playing clawhammer, but for all the examples and exercises that we're going to do in this video, it's a very nice tuning to use. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the clawhammer technique is usually played on a banjo, but it can sound absolutely terrific on the ukulele as well. So what is the clawhammer? Well, there's a few things we need to know about it before we get started. Firstly, it's all about the rhythm. If you think about most of the music listened to being divided into blocks of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the key beats for a clawhammer are 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Now some musicians call this rhythm the bum ditty, and that might sound kind of silly, but it's a useful word to know because it's something you can say to yourself again and again, and it'll help you remember the rhythm and stay in time all the way while you're playing. If you remember that demo tune I played just now, you can say bum ditty all the way while you're playing that as well, like this. Bum ditty 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 bum ditty. And you'll see it just helps you keep in time as you say it and play it. Bum diddy bum diddy bum diddy bum diddy. And that works no matter how fast you're playing. However, the clawhammer isn't just about rhythm, and really it's defined by what you're doing with your right hand. The clawhammer is your right hand technique while you're playing that particular rhythm. And the two most important things you have to remember with your right hand when you're playing the clawhammer is 1, the shape of your hand. You have to make it into a sort of, well, clawhammer I suppose. You kind of bend the fingers over at the knuckle like this and leave your thumb pointing out like this. So if we put that over our strings, your thumb is basically resting over the 4th string, and then your other strings are ready to go. And we're not plucking it in the normal way, because the other thing we need to remember about the clawhammer is that it's all downstrokes. There are no upstrokes at all. So keep that 4th finger resting on the 4th string. That's the only digit that'll play that 4th string all the way through. It's the thumb every time. And the other 3 strings are all played with your index finger, playing a downstroke. So for that reason, because it is downstrokes all the time, you need to make sure your fingers are always kept near the strings, so you're always ready to play the next note. Hey, have you got that clawhammer shape nice and ready? Well, before we go on to the next section, just unfurl that index finger, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. If there's any extra techniques that you'd like to learn, then let me know right now in the comments below and I'll do my best to make a lesson on some of them. Like I said, the rhythm can be divided up into bum, ditty, and each of those syllables has a very important role in what we're doing. The bum plays the melody, the dit plays the chord, and the T plays the drone, which is the note that repeats all the way through the song. In this case, it's the open 4th string. So clawhammer plays all of those parts of a song, the melody, the chord, and a drone. Now that might sound complicated to begin with, but what keeps it simple is that we always use the same fingers for each part. So for the bum or melody note, we use our index finger. For the chord, we do a downstroke, brushing against the strings with our index fingernail and sometimes our second nail as well. Just brushing against it, and then the T at the end is our thumb. So it's index, strum, thumb, index, strum, thumb, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty, bum, ditty. And that's more or less all there is to it. So let's get our fingers in position with our thumb resting on that 4th string, and then our other fingers ready to hit down on these strings here. Remember, we're not plucking the strings with our index finger, we're sort of pushing down on them like this. Bum, ditty, Hey, by the way, if you love this beautiful soprano ukulele, it was given to me by my good friends at Carla. Click on the special link in the description below and you'll get 10% off anything on the Carla website just because you watch my videos. Just try it with me, we won't play any chords with our left hand. The melody note will be the open third string, that C note. And then we'll do it down, and then the drone, remember, is always that open fourth string. So let's just play that exercise through a few times. And that basic bum ditty is the basis of your clawhammer. So again, with bum ditty, it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and your thumb only ever plays on the ands. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and bum ditty, bum ditty, bum ditty, bum ditty. So there are two great exercises that we can use to help us warm up with our clawhammer technique and get used to it. The first is every melody note we play a different open string. We'll play string 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, like this. 3, 2, 1, 2. And that's a really good technique because it gets you used to moving that index finger around and playing it on all three of the different strings. And the second exercise that I like to do, again, is changing that bum note, that melody note, and using it to play a C major scale. Now a C major scale is like this. So if we take that C major scale and incorporate it with the melody notes of our bum ditty or our clawhammer, we start to add a bit of melody or tune to our pattern. Let me just play it through for you super slowly and show you what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and use that piece that Phil arranged for Uke magazine and has very kindly allowed me to use for this lesson, called Boil Them Cabbage Down. I've put the tabs up on the screen for you to follow along, but if you like the song sheet, it's available in Uke magazine, episode 11, available from the World of Uke's website. Let me play it through for you really, really slowly at first, just so you get the hang of it and understand what I'm doing when I play the clawhammer technique. If you feel comfortable or confident joining in, then go ahead and do so. Otherwise, just feel free to watch it again until you sort of pick up what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little faster. Okay, so we just played our first clawhammer piece, but how can we make it sound a little bit more exciting and add some fun and decoration to it? Well, once you get the hang of basic clawhammer, there's lots and lots you can do to make it more exciting, more interesting to listen to, and let's be honest, a bit more tricky to play as well. Phil added some particular decorations to this song, adding some slides and some hammer-ons to some of the melody notes, just to make it a bit more interesting to listen to. Now this isn't too tricky to play, but it does require quite a lot of concentration, so when you're just starting out, you are going to want to take it nice and slow. Let me play it through for you with the slides and the hammer-ons really slowly, so you can hear and see exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see on a couple of the bums, I'm adding a slide note. Again, remember, it's still always just one pluck, one downstroke with your fingernail. Even if I'm playing two notes on the left hand, I never alter what I'm doing with my right hand. It's always that clawhammer technique. So my right hand is always playing bum ditty, even if my left hand is adding some extra bits and pieces in. So let's have a listen and see what that sounds like played a little bit faster. Okay, so to end the lesson, let's recap what we've learnt so far. The clawhammer is basically a right-handed finger-picking pattern where you play the melody, the bum, the chord on the dit, and a drone on the T, all the way through. Bum, ditty, bum, ditty. And remember, it's all downstrokes, index finger on the bum dit, and thumb on the T. As ever, take it nice and slow until you get the hang of it. But sooner rather than later, if you just put in the practice, you will be claw hammering away with the very best of them. I've been the ukulele teacher, and until next time, I love you all, and I wish you the best.